Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are doing something a little different, a little mini series that I'm starting, kind of podcast style. I'm going to be talking with some good friends of mine that are in the car scene and have some valuable things to say on this channel. So today we're going to be introducing our first guest. I'm gonna maybe call this mini series Car Tings. So this is Car Tings episode 1. If you guys have been around on the channel for a long time, this man needs no introduction. You should know my very good friend, David Lozeau, David S3, David 2G. Dude also has a 3G. I mean, guy's got some cars, and we're gonna talk about it today, along with a few other topics. We wanna discuss the current state of the car culture, as well as maybe some questionable car modifications that perhaps should have been left in 2022. So without further ado, guys, I want to go ahead and introduce my very good friend, David Lozeau. David, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Been chilling here in Tennessee.
Yep, and you know, I'm out here on the East Coast. It's cold and rainy and snowy, but yeah, still doing the car stuff.
And I do not miss the snow, I must say. Although in Tennessee here, we did get one snow this year, but no salt.
Good, yeah. Well, that's all we have here, man. They oversalt the roads. It just destroys everything. Thankfully, the Prelude's tucked inside this year, so she's staying.
Let's start there, man. Let's start with the cars you got. Tell us a little bit about the year, make, and models. So if anyone's new, they can get up to speed. And then also, what's the current status?
Okay, so right now we have the 1986 Honda Prelude SI second gen, which many of you might have seen in some previous videos when we picked it up, did some drone clips, just the overnight challenge, great video.
Yes.
Just watch that. And we also have a 2015 Audi S3 and a 2010 Audi A4 Avant, which just underwent a lot of maintenance and did something good. It's running now, and yeah.
Major surgery, man. You just had that motor taken apart on that Avant.
Yeah, a lot of diag, but found that I had a stuck open fuel injector. So intake manifolds off, just pretty much did everything from, you know, the top down on the right side of the engine compartment that I could think of to replace. So it's back and running. That's the daily. And it made a trip out to Tennessee and back with no problems, so.
That's very true.
Glad it didn't happen on that ride home.
Tell us a little bit about that 3G you have sitting in your driveway.
The 3G, yeah. That was a little bit of an impulse buy. Good price. Right now it's just sitting. It's a 19.
What'd you guys pay for it?
I think we paid $1,900 for that car.
So $1,000, literally more than $1,000 less than I paid.
Yeah.
And yours is in arguably better shape.
Paint-wise, I would say, you know, with a little bit of work buffing it, absolutely, it could get there. Mechanical-wise, she's got some issues. We got parts, just don't have the time to install them, but it's a cool model. It's a 1989, so third gen. I think it's, what, a couple years newer than yours?
Couple. Or 89? No, you're only 1 year newer.
1 year newer? Okay.
Yep.
It's an auto, but it is an SI with the four-wheel steer, so a little bit of a rare find.
I forgot it has four-wheel steer. So really, all we have to do is 5-speed the thing, and you know, we're off to the races.
Dude, if we get that thing up and going, then we got a rare one.
If we got a 5-speed SI four-wheel steer third gen in good shape with all the bits and pieces in the interior still, guys, this car is very clean. It is very clean.
Maybe I'll try and send you a picture of it. You know, not under a tarp.
I'm sure we can throw one up here. Maybe we can throw a tarp picture up too.
All right.
So Dave's got some cars. I don't understand. I could never manage to work on that many cars at once, and I am envious that he gets to just hop out and look at his keys and be like, which one today? You know, I got the Tacoma and the Prelude, and the Prelude's broken half the time. So, you know, I applaud you, man, for taking on the challenge of multiple cars like that, especially 2 Audis. That is a lot of work.
Bro, it's a nightmare. I feel like anytime I finish maintenance on one, a service reminder pops up on the next, and it's like, oh, it's never ending.
Ain't that Audi?
Yeah, I mean, you knew the struggles with the BMW for a little while.
That I do.
So.
Yep, the European German cars, man, especially newer ones, electronic problems start arising, and it becomes the least fun project you've probably ever worked on.
Yeah, it's a very love-hate relationship. Cars are cool. They look good. You know, you get that low-price luxury depending on what you're buying, but it comes with a price for maintenance. And if you don't want to have someone else do it, you're doing it yourself.
And that's the price of time. And I guess as much as I say I only have the Tacoma and the Prelude to work on, I also have Jenna's Accord, which Jenna and I have been tackling maintenance on that thing, coolant related, a lot of tune-up stuff. So if you guys are new here, I have a 1992 Accord, which is technically my girlfriend's car. I've got the 1988 Honda Prelude, which is the 3rd gen, and I've got a 1998 Toyota Tacoma 5-speed 4x4. And if you guys remember, about a year ago, I had a BMW F30. It was a 2013 328i with the X-Drive, modded to the gills. A lot of fun with that car, but I sold it and I got the Tacoma because Tacomas are reliable. That'll be a cut there. So yeah, guys, that's my garage. That's what I'm working on right now, as you guys have followed along the channel if you've been sticking around here. So Dave, let's dive into our first topic here. I've been in Tennessee now a little over a year, and I'm gonna tell you guys about the car scene down here, but the car scene when I left Massachusetts, New Hampshire was, I would say on the decline, perhaps. I've been gone for about 16 months now, so you know better. Tell me, what's the car scene like up there in New Hampshire or Massachusetts?
I mean, honestly, since you ventured out, Western Mass and then to Tennessee, our just general circle, like everyone just started hanging out less, man. Like less reason to like get together because like the way I look at it is like, I don't know, we've tried to put on like a bunch of stuff with our friends and make meets and make ends happen to like get people together. People just started going their separate ways. People started selling their cars. Just less people into it as we once were. So therefore, like the veterans in our, friend group, it just kind of dissipated. There's a lot more younger kids who are just kind of in it for the scene. And, that's how like the takeover stuff happens. That's how big events get ruined. And it's still cool to see the cars, but it's just not the same camaraderie that we once had.
I do feel like back in, like I met you in 2018 maybe?
I think so, yeah.
At a car meet, right? So I met you, I think I met Billy and Fox and all those boys around the same time. And I remember like back then, I didn't know any of you guys, you didn't know me, and Billy and Fox didn't know us. But we were all just coming up to each other and talking about cars and modifications, and we were all brought together by European cars at the time. And I feel like every one of us worked on our own cars at that point. Very much so. Did everything on our own cars. Do you think, like with the younger kids today, do you think they're still working on their cars themselves?
It's tough to say. There's actually a few kids that have been doing a lot of work on their cars, and I think it's just like those are the kids getting into the like automotive technician side of things. They're still doing their stuff. But I mean, I know a handful of kids that still like, have a friend install their coilovers or take it to a shop. I don't know. That's part of the reason I like it is like you learn how to do this stuff. I mean, like doing the fuel injectors the other day, like that was off of YouTube. I mean, watching you do, 2 manual transmission swaps, like that's beyond me, man. Like you didn't just learn that from someone else, like you learned that yourself.
That's true. Yeah, man, I've said it before on this channel, like the more you wrench, the more you know. And like really once you start digging into any car, it seems super complicated, right? It's this massive maze of parts and wires and all this stuff. And then really once you start getting in there, you can map it out. It actually becomes so much easier. And it's kind of sad seeing people like, I mean, I've seen it before, like people posting who can install, like you said, coilovers or springs. I mean, springs, man, I think everyone in their life should have to do springs and install with a spring compressor or install without a spring compressor. That's the real fun. I think everyone should do that at least once with their buddies, because if you ain't taking janky springs off a car and dropping it down with some new janky springs, then you're just not doing it right.
Oh yeah. I mean, it brings me back to like the F30, man. I mean,
when we bagged it.
Yeah, uninstalling the air ride, and then, we did Mitch's F30 springs, and then we did Sam's springs. Like, we did springs on F30s, like 4 different cars.
Yep.
And every time,
and once you do it once, it's pretty easy. That's why we were like, yeah, we'll help you out. We'll help you out. We'll help you out. It's fun to hang out with your boys and get into it. Especially, like I said, once you've done it once, then you're like, no problem. This is easy.
Absolutely. But yeah, in terms of like kids working on their cars, I don't know. I haven't met a whole lot of new people in the car scene. It's kind of just the same old friends, not as many meets, a lot more stuff happening in like Massachusetts, I feel. Just more money there for people to have like nicer cars. I mean, I'm still into like the old school stuff with a mix of the new school, but like I don't need to see someone's, 2018 Beamer. It's the same. It's the same stuff, man.
I hear that. Yeah, it's a lot of. I will say part of the reason with the F30 getting out of that game altogether was it seemed like a mod. What am I trying to say? It was a mod contest. It was who could spend the most money on carbon, who had the most carbon bits. What trim level BMW did you buy? You couldn't afford the nicer one. There's just so much backlash on it, I guess, with a lot of those parts, and it didn't fulfill my bucket anymore. So if you guys, if you're in the New England area, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, let us know down in the comments. Are we just in our own bubble, or is Dave, you're up there low now, so is Dave in his own bubble, or is the car scene dead up there? I don't know. I can tell you down here, I've had zero luck. I've been down here like 16 months now. I've met maybe a handful of car guys, just kind of casually. Haven't really found anybody that's working on their car, wrenching all the time and kind of down to chill and do car stuff and do car shoots, rollers, things of that nature. Car scene down here, very different. Lots of trucks, lots of Mopar.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's so true, man.
You've seen it, man. It's like you're, I don't even know how to describe it, dude. It's like something out of NASCAR down here. I
mean, you roll up on someone and you don't know whether or not they just have a Charger or if they're into cars. It's like that's just all he wanted. Yeah.
So I've been to honestly one meet since I've been down here, and it was a lot of younger kids, I'll be honest, like kids that seemed like they just got their license. But what I notice is the builds, I mean, they're not as come from maybe affluent families. Their builds are a little more low cost, but they don't look bad. They're just, you can tell they're not driving that new 2022 BMW with carbon fiber everywhere. They're driving a Chevy truck that they dumped all of their high school savings into, fixing it up and modding it with their buddies, which in my opinion is a lot cooler.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the car scene down here. I can't speak too highly of it because again, I haven't been out to many meets or met a lot of people, but I do see a very big difference between here and up north.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive mix up here. You have all the money in the world and then you have, the middle class that, maybe can afford a pretty nice car, but not all the mods. And then you just have like the kid looking for the cheap car that's cool, unique, and he's just going to do what he can.
Civic.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Which is cool. I mean, everyone has their own category, but.
And shout out, you said Civic, and that reminds me of I said Civic. Colby, man. Colby he loved that Civic, man. And I think he might still have it. He drove the crap out of it.
I think he sold it, but that car was fun. Off the vlog, he got a 325i.
I kind of want to jump into this next topic because I know you have some good ones. I didn't come prepared with any. I'm leaving all of these modifications that might have been better off left in 2022 and not made their way into 2023. Tell me, Dave.
Okay.
Tell me about some really bad ones.
Some of them are a little controversial, if you will, where they could be good in some regards and they could be horrible in others. And number one,
and I want to before we drop number one, I want to say everybody, this is just our opinions, each to their own. You know how this channel is, unique style, same dream. We all build our cars the way we want. Dave and I are here just letting you, we're just sharing opinions. So don't be offended. Leave it down in the comments if you guys agree, disagree. We'd love to hear it. So Dave, let's start with the first controversial mod.
We're gonna have to go with Underglow, man.
Okay.
Underglow. I mean, it's huge right now with like low glow, and you see it on all the BRZs and like the super stancy boys. I think it can be cool, but I also think it also can be like the rattiest cheap eBay mod ever. Because like sometimes you see them dragging on the ground, but other times it's like tucked up nice, it's clean, looks good. But
yes.
What do you think?
You know, that's so I have two things to say to that. One, I don't see it on many cars down here. It's actually, everyone's got it on their lifted trucks. They've got the little puddle light in every single wheel well and on their trailer hitch and in their grill and, you know, everywhere they can put a light. But one thing I will say is you can tell when someone does it right and when they do it wrong, specifically for underglow. They drive by you and you're like, oh, underglow. If you see the bright light, like if you see the light itself, no, you didn't do it right. You're not supposed to see the light. It's all just bouncing light reflection on the road, which makes it look like a hovercraft, right? That's kind of what it looks like, a spaceship. So guys, please just tuck them up a little bit further so we can't see them. That would be my only, I kind of think it's cool only because I grew up watching like Paul Walker and the Fast and the Furious. So there's a little bit of ricey in me, you know? I do appreciate it when it's done right.
Absolutely. So yeah, that one's up in the air. If you have underglow, you know, make sure it's zip tied up there enough.
Make sure it's up under the glow.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I watched a couple YouTube videos to get some ideas, but this one is kind of like up in the air for me. We got the bandana tied around the, you know, passenger driver's side mirror on the outside.
Oh, okay. Yep, I've seen it. Not much down here, definitely up there though. I
feel like that was way more of a thing a couple years ago. I feel like the Stancy guys rock it if it's like a, you know, color matched bandana. I don't know. I think it's a little cheese at this point. You know, maybe just keep it for the inside of your car.
Is it supposed to be like you're affiliated, you know?
I don't know if it's gang, like a car gang related, if you will, or if it's just like it's just supposed to be something that's hanging off your car.
Style.
Yeah.
Style points. I guess it's kind of like the Surikawas, you know, we all did that. Still do that sometimes. I agree though, the bandana is, you know, not my style.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I'd agree. I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, having long tassels on like your hoodie, your pant strings, and like everything's hanging out. It's like that kind of just...
Everything's just swinging around.
Yeah, it's just that like outlaw style, dude. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. That's a unique one.
I haven't seen that one in a while, so I guess, you know, it probably already got left in 2022.
I was going to say they left it there. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hit me with a third. What else you got?
Tinted taillights.
Oh, that is a good one. And your boy was doing that with his first car. Yeah. Tinted taillights, especially with the spray. Yeah, it never looks good.
I just think it's better at like less is more in going either with a Euro style with more red or JDM with like clear. I mean, some headlight stuff that like are smoked, like you have the inner housing that's like blacked out, but the lens itself, cool. I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. I don't think I've seen a smoked taillight and been like, wow, that enhanced the look of the car.
Well put. And not only that, but it also is actually, I mean, if you call like backing up with your reverse lights, you know, performance wise, you can't see as well. Yeah. But I guess, you know, cars got backup cameras now. They all do. I don't know. I kind of agree. When I tinted, I had a 1999 Volkswagen Passat for my first car, and one of the first things I did was buy the cheapest can of tintable spray paint I could for about $5.99, and went to town on my taillights, and then realized I couldn't see anything backing up between my window tint and the smoked tails. So I would agree with you on that. And to your point, the clears, those have been popping off like crazy. Everyone's putting clears on now, and I think I actually like that fad a lot more than smoked or tinted.
Yeah, I mean, even if you got obnoxiously bright LEDs and you can like see them, you know, you can see the round LED. I don't know. There's the clear lens. I think it looks great on pretty much any car, color, whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Let me know down in the comments, guys. Tint your taillights or not. Let us know. I mean, is that a move that we should still be doing in 2023? I sure did it when I was probably 2010 was the last time I did that. So a little over a decade ago. Is it still cool? Anything else on that?
No, but it does make me bring up just window tints in general. Like, a window tint still cool? Are we like fishbowling now?
I think fishbowling is super cool on classic cars, antique cars. In fact, I think my Prelude would look better without tint. But I live in Tennessee. It's like 110 degrees in the summertime, and you need it. But for me, I think new cars look great with tint. Old cars look great fishbowl.
Cool. I think we should keep it that way. I'd agree.
You agree?
Yeah. I mean, I got a really light tint on my Prelude. It looks good at night. I don't know. The daytime is kind of whatever. I think I'd agree with you on fishbowling it.
Yeah, and then also like going too ham with the tint. I mean, especially down here, I see cars driving around with like 5% tint on the windshield, the whole windshield, not just the, keep the sun out of your eyes, the whole windshield, the whole thing, 5%, you can't see anything, and they probably can't see anything out. Never been a big fan. I've always stuck to 35%, which is usually the state limit for being legal tint, but I also think it just looks the best.
Just came up with a great one. Chrome tints, right? Front windshield, all around. What do we think on that, man?
I kind of want to say the same answer as before. I think if you have a really cool looking older classic car, I think along with other very good looking mods, I think all put together with reflective tint, especially if the reflective color kind of matches your paint on your car, I think it can look really good. If you're just driving a stock car with red reflective tint all around, I mean, it's probably hard to see what color the light is at a red light and all that. So I don't know I think it looks good on classic cars that are built up very nicely.
Yeah, agreed. I've seen it on enough cars where I'm like, that looks really good. For my own driving perspective, I don't think I could do it. I wouldn't want to have to roll down the window to see what color the light is, or have to deal with getting that inspected. Man, you'd be taking that off every time.
That is true, and one thing I love about Tennessee, no state inspections.
Yeah. Well.
I'm right there with you though. I would probably not do reflective tint myself. I'm much more of an OEM plus kind of guy, and I think that would look really cool on some cars, just not my style.
True.
Speaking of flashy, kind of chromy reflective things, one thing that I see, especially a lot down here, non-functional hood scoops.
Oh Lord.
What do you think?
I mean, I feel like that frickin' party left the train station years ago, man.
I still see it, dude. I mean, guys have to go to AutoZone and buy every sticker, decal, and fake scoop air dam that they can.
Do your thing, I guess, but I don't know. I don't appreciate like the mockery of it when people just like take a beat car, they put it on there, put these mods on, and then they go up to a car meet and they like try and make fun of people. Like, just don't do it for that. I guess like,
okay,
don't do it. Don't do it at all, really. I don't know.
Like they're kind of making their car a meme, almost. Like it's supposed to be funny how silly it looks. I guess,
yeah. I mean, we all have stuff on our cars that offers no functional purpose, really. Everyone does it, but I don't know. Stuff like that, it's like its sole purpose is to give you, cooling from the hood. Maybe just do like a slotted vents or something instead, like a scoop.
Okay. I mean, I've seen some very cool videos too where people will buy those ones and they'll actually drill out the front of it so it's a functional, and then they'll cut a hole in the hood and actually, body fill it to the hood and repaint the hood so it looks good and it's actually a functioning scoop. I think that could be cool, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if you can transform a cheap part from AutoZone into a functional something, absolutely.
Dude, all the power to you. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Tell the people what they want to hear, Dave.
Yeah, well,
or what they don't want to hear.
They might not want to hear. Honestly, okay, let's see. How can we? I guess so. I had it as originally like halo lights, like we see them in Jeeps, BMWs, some older cars with round headlights, Miatas even. The RGB halos, and this kind of goes for like any RGB headlight setup. I don't know. I feel like that's getting old.
I would also agree. I think RGB is getting old.
Yep. In general,
I think again, back to my OEM Plus, if I'm going to do a modification like that, I'm sticking with one color. Like if I was to do underglow, white. I'm an average Joe. I think that would look the best. When you've got like rainbows flying under your car, it's not my style.
Yeah. I mean, maybe save the RGB for the footwells in your car or something.
Save the RGB for your computers. Put them in your new computer build.
Save it for your frat party house, man.
Yes, leave it off the cars.
Yeah.
And that actually kind of reminds me of one more, the Starlit headliners.
Oh Lord, that's a great one.
Dude, you think so?
That is a great one. It is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. Pretty expensive mod to do.
It is a lot of work too. It is a lot of work.
And I just see too many people with the loom hanging out in the back.
Oh yes.
And
yeah, you got the loom.
Some guys go full in on the headliner itself. They take it apart, they disassemble it, wrap it up, mark it, stick them in, drill out like the 100-something holes. It looks really cool. I think it's a little overdone, and sometimes it's like you see this nice hard work in like a low quality car, if you will.
It was meant to be like that. That originated in the Rolls Royces, right? So it's quite the bar that you're setting for yourself.
Yeah.
By trying to mimic that modification, though, like you said, it's 100+ holes, man. It's a lot of work to do it, and I feel for those people that undertake that task.
Yeah. No, it's a cool one for sure, but I honestly feel like it's like spending a bunch of money on nice wheels for like a totally stock car. It's like it looks really good, but it just doesn't fit with the rest of the picture,
Yeah, I guess what I would say with that is I think that can come into 2023 with us. Just be clean about it, guys. Be clean about it, do it right. And because I know it's a driver mod, right? There's some people who just like, they don't care what the outside looks like. They just want to enjoy their driving experience, and that fulfills it. So
yeah,
I might be okay with that one coming into the new year with us.
I think so. I think it'd be cool. I'd love to see more people do like different styles of material. Like Alcantara is hot right now, but like let me see some different colors. Like that would be cool. Like match your brown seats with like brown Alcantara or something.
That would be fire.
But
anything running through your mind mod wise? Anything that we need to let the people know about?
Dude, the only one I got left is tinted license plate covers, man, or license plate covers.
Oh, we are just hard on the tint today. Quickly, I'll just say my input on that one. Don't do it. It's another reason for police to pull you over. You're already driving a modified car. Don't give them an extra reason just to bother you. So I think if you need to, tint your taillights. Don't tint your license plate.
Yeah, agreed. Or I don't know, get a cool vanity plate. Show it off.
Cool vanity plate, yeah, that's the thing. Show it off, yes. I like that much more.
I mean, I'm sure there's a million other things that we could bring up, and we might see some stuff this year that is horrible.
Or we might find some stuff that we forgot about. So let us know down in the comments. I will definitely go through this list and see what silly modifications did Dave and I forget about. Dave, it's been great having you on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Any final thoughts? Any anything you want to say to the people?
What do I want to say to the people? Subscribe to this man. He's got a lot of cool content.
Hey.
And yeah, you could learn a lot, and it's good quality. I mean, he goes all over the spectrum. I mean, if you're into the camper build stuff with the truck, absolutely. If you're into the classic Prelude, I mean, I'm sure you're going to hit some meets and cover some other cool cars. Maybe meet some people this year with different stuff. I mean,
Fingers crossed.
He went from Euro to JDM to truck stuff, man. So, like, everything you want, right in there.
That's true, man. Yeah, you guys, if you've been around this channel a while, you know that I can't settle with one thing. I get bored. So there's always something new going on. I try and put out good quality content for you guys because I know it's important, right? Anybody can put up content. It takes a little extra work to make it look nice, and I do appreciate that. And I definitely will be having you back on here very soon. We're going to talk about some more car stuff, and maybe you're coming down to Tennessee soon. Actually.
I'll be down there, and I don't know when this is getting uploaded, but I might be down there by the time this is uploaded. Yeah.
Cool. And then maybe we could podcast in the same actual room.
Dude.
Could be cool.
We could podcast from Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee, man.
From the Prelude, I'll park the 3rd Gen Lude downtown, and we'll just podcast right inside.
Dude, let's do it.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Dave, thank you again for coming by. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, comments below. Again, what modifications, silly things did we forget about that we should have talked about and we can talk about in the next one. With that being said, if you guys are new here, think about subscribing. If you do, that's cool. If you don't, I guess that's cool too. But I will see you in the next one. Keep elevating, and thank you for joining me for Tings episode 1. Bye-bye.